Hey guys, this is James White with Frequent Reviews, bringing you as seen on TV product reviews, gadget reviews, and more. Now, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please consider doing so for more videos like this. Now, today I've got something a little bit different. I'm comparing lint rollers. Now, how great is that? Now, you're thinking, what kind of a comparison is that going to be? But it's obviously a product that's got some attention because the as seen on TV industry has released several type products over the years. So I thought it would be cool to compare some dollar store lint removers with some of the as seen on TV offerings. One caveat, as I found from my first Zapper review, my washer and dryer do a pretty good job of removing lint, so I don't have access to a lot of it, but I've got a lot of access to a lot of pet hair because I've got 4 pets, namely my golden retriever Bailey. She's gonna help me out by giving me some pet hair. I'm gonna remove those with the lint removers. I found that pet hair and lint are pretty much in the same category, and again, it's not scientific, so if you're gonna complain about my methodology, there is no methodology. This is not scientific. So let's take a closer look at all the contestants. First up in the as seen on TV category, a popular video of mine and one of my picks for the best of 2017 is the Hurricane Fur Wizard. I thought this one does really well. I actually still use this one almost every day, so I'm pretty familiar with how this works, and I'll be curious to see how this does compared to the rest of them. Next up in the as seen on TV genre, we've got this Sticky Buddy, which I haven't even opened yet. I just got this one off Amazon. This one was advertised a few years ago, but it's still around, so I wanted to see how this one does. It's a reusable sticky picker-upper, so it's for lint, pet hair, all kinds of things. In the dollar store category, 2 of the same brand, which is this dollar store has what are called laundry essentials. I've got the classic lint roller and also the classic lint brush. Both of these cost me $1. As kind of an added bonus, I've got a very vintage brush here. My dad bought this probably in the 60s or the 70s. This is a Swank clothing brush that has a lint remover on the back, and I still have it. I want to see how that does as well. All right, I changed shirts. This is actually my most lintiest, pet hairiest shirt I have. It picks up everything. I'm gonna play with Bailey for a little bit, pick up a bunch of hair, and then go to the first test. If you saw my first Zapper review, you'll recognize this technique. Good girl, yes. She's a good girl. Yeah, she loves doing this. Oh, God. I just wanted a hug, Bailey. Now I just have to calm her down a little bit and go inside for test number 1. All right, that's shirt number 1. That's pretty bad. All right, first up we got the Laundry Essentials Lint Brush. It's very cheaply made. This is, do you hear that? Very cheap plastic. There isn't a very hard to read arrow on here which tells you the direction. I actually have to hold up to the light to even see it. Oh wow, it looks like it's even pushing through. Look how cheap that is. Look at this. Very cheap. I don't know about, I think this one's gonna be a big no. Did get some fur off. 1 use and it's falling apart. Not impressed with the dollar store lint brush. It's working. It is working though. Is it 100%? Probably not, but it's getting all the fur off. It's just, look, you can see that it's coming off right there. This is coming apart. This is a piece of junk. This is a piece of junk that barely works. Guess what? Time for Bailey, part 2. Oh, come here. Oh, come here. Oh, God, good girl. There we go. This is the way to get all the good hair on you. This is it right here. Good ball. Woo. Shirt number 2, Laundry Essentials Extra Sticky Lint Roller, also ideal for pet hair. And it has 40 sheets. Let's see how long 1 sheet lasts. Will it do the whole shirt? Let's find out. It definitely seems to be working faster than its lint brush counterpart, although it feels like it's already starting to not pick up as much. You got a pretty big chunk of it, but I think I have to go 1 more sheet. I think the second sheet is kind of full. In this extraordinarily unscientific test, I do think that it takes 2 sheets and probably outperformed its lint brush counterpart from the dollar store, which is falling apart. I would definitely go with the lint roller. Even though it's not reusable, I don't think this is gonna last 20 uses. It barely lasted 1. So I'm thinking this one right now is on top. Can its as seen on TV competitors beat it? Let's see. You know, some people say that Bailey is the star of the show. Well, I can carry Bailey just as much as she can carry me. You know, she's gained a few pounds over the years. You know, Bailey turns 4 years old this month. She was born on January 30th, 2015. What should I do for her birthday? What do you guys do for your pets' birthdays, or do you even celebrate them? Next up, we have the older ASEAN TV Sticky Buddy, which is reusable. You're supposed to just pick up your pet hair, rinse it off, and keep going. It also has these fingers on here, which I don't think are used for pet hair. In fact, on the box it says pet hair, and you see the fingers are kind of pointing upwards. So I'm just going to use the roller section, not worry about these fingers right now. See how much it picks up, how long it takes to dry after it's rinsed off. Oh, hey, I gotta say, these first two swipes are pretty impressive. And they're getting less impressive as I go. I kind of like this, and it's not picking up that much hair anymore. It seems like I need to rinse it off. Some of these big pieces not getting picked up. Not going, I think it's saturated. So now let's hit the sink and see how long it takes to rinse off and to dry. Well, the hair's coming off, so that's good. I don't feel any hair left. The commercial showed them drying on a towel like this. That's what they showed. Aren't you gonna be picking up lint from the towel too? Anyways, well, let's see if it's gonna pick up some of those hairs again. There we go. Of the 3 I've done so far, I got this one, the cleanest of them. There's almost no pet hair left. There's a little bit, not much. So even though it took 2 passes, it did a pretty good job. Never used this one before, but I kind of like it. The other thing that I can't do today is see how long this is gonna hold up over time. That will be included in one of my update videos, but I actually kind of like this. Now guess what? We're gonna have to compare it with my standby, the Hurricane Fur Wizard. That's next. I definitely want to thank Bailey for contributing so much pet hair for this video. You did a good job with your pet hair, Bailey. Some people think pet hair is a nuisance, but when you're trying to compare lint rollers, it's perfect. So today, Bailey's pet hair is actually a benefit. Next up, it is the Hurricane Fur Wizard. Now this is kind of a traditional lint brush with one addition, and that is this base, which kind of pulls the pet hair off so you can keep going. That's one reason I liked it so much. You can kind of collect the pet hair in the bottom here, grab it out when you want to empty it. I use this quite a bit, several times a week, sometimes even every day. By the way, this does have to be cleaned off once in a while because you'll start getting dust and dirt on there that'll transfer onto your shirt, so about once a week you gotta wipe it off. I would say the Sticky Buddy actually worked faster. A couple passes and most of the hair was gone. This takes some more passes, but you don't have to stop and wash it off, so it's kind of a trade-off. You do have to stop occasionally, put it in the base a couple times, get the hair off, keep going. But I think that's a faster process. So even though the Sticky Buddy probably worked a little bit better, I think I spent less time on this than I did with the Sticky Buddy. But as far as the hair goes, it got most of it. I want to say the Sticky Buddy may have actually got a little bit more though. As much as I like the Hurricane Fur Wizard, I think the Sticky Buddy actually kind of hung in there. I'd like to hear what you guys think, which one you think is better. This one that might take a few more passes, or this one that you have to stop and rinse off. But guess what? We have one more contestant. Good girl. Oh, what? As much as I love Bailey, getting her worked up 6 times may not be a good idea because she starts getting crazy on me. And that concludes the Bailey portion of my tests. Last one is coming up. Oh, you're getting aggressive on me now. This is an aggressive dog. And for the final test, it is the decades-old Swank made in West Germany. I believe that's what this is saying. Swank, West Germany. That's from the 60s or 70s. Has a traditional lint brush. Let's see how that works. Wow, that actually works pretty well. Yeah. These people in the 60s know how to do it. So I would say about 3 passes. I had to clean it off a couple times. It worked about as well, I'd say, as the Hurricane Fur Wizard because it's a similar type brush. I would say better than the dollar store one because this thing is falling apart. It's a piece of junk. I do like the base that this one has. It takes the fur off. I have to kind of take it off myself with this one. This one is obviously well made. If it's old, I think it's older than I am. Any of you guys know anything about this kind of brush? Because I know my dad used to use it and I don't know anything else about it. Well, I figured out my conclusion. I'm gonna take this shirt. I didn't get the sleeve so much. I didn't get the back of it. I'm actually gonna throw this in the wash machine with the fur zapper, both of them, and see how that does. Not really part of the comparison of those, but just to be as complete as possible. So let's throw this in the washing machine and see how the fur zapper does on the remnants of my tests. Now for those of you who don't know, the fur zapper is this kind of rubbery material that goes in your washer and dryer and helps get pet hair off. I guess it sticks to it, goes down the drain. So I'm gonna throw these in there with the shirt and see how it takes it out. Bye-bye shirt and fur zapper. All right, this is out of the wash. The fur zapper got a lot of it. You see the back of the sleeves. Didn't get all of it. So just in case you're curious, that's how well the fur zapper did. But here's what I think about these pet rollers. First of all, the dollar store lint brush, terrible. It's done. Get it out of here. The dollar store lint roller, what I like, but you're gonna get at most 40 uses, probably only 20 if you have a big job. So I'm gonna say this is not the best one either. That leaves me with the vintage lint remover and the two ASEAN TV removers. Now you guys already know I like the Hurricane Fur Wizard, so I'm gonna put that one here right now. So what about the Sticky Buddy and the vintage? Now the vintage is tried and true. This thing has lasted decades. I think the Sticky Buddy was the best at removing the pet fur, but you have to stop and rinse it off and then dry it off on a towel, which picks up additional lint, which kind of makes you have to rinse it off even more. So I'm a little bit torn on these. I see pluses and minuses of all three of these. This one was, I think, about $15. This goes for about $20, and who knows, this was probably like $3 back in 1966 or something. There isn't much difference between the vintage lint brush and the Hurricane Fur Wizard. The only difference is this base, which takes the fur off right away. This one you kind of have to, there's different ways of getting it off. You can use another brush. So I think the Hurricane Fur Wizard is an improvement over the traditional design, as much as I think this is cool, and I have an emotional attachment to this because of my dad's. So that brings us to these two. And ironically, they're both ASEAN TV. And as you guys know, I have a tendency to rip these ASEAN TV products to shreds, but these are actually both pretty good. I'm not used to even saying that because I'm usually pretty critical when I have something that doesn't work too well. I think these both work pretty well. Kind of weighing the difference. I should probably pick one, shouldn't I? I think you can't go wrong with either one, but I'm gonna go with the Hurricane Fur Wizard. That's right, because the washing and letting it dry, I'm not fond of, and I haven't tested this over time, which I'll keep using this. One of my update videos, I'll actually give you an update on how this is held up. But for right now, I'm sticking with it. I'm going with the Hurricane Fur Wizard. That might be anticlimactic, I'm sorry about that, but I do think that the Sticky Buddy did well. I think that the vintage lint brush also did well, so I don't think you can go wrong if you're using this type of a lint brush, whether it has a base or not. Honestly, I like the base better than the brush itself. So if you used any of these products, tell me what you think in the comments below. Please follow my social profiles for progress pictures, videos as I go, and my Patreon page. Please subscribe for more As Seen on TV product reviews from me, James White, with Freakin' Reviews.